Mate, did we watch a thing this week?
Yeah, we did. Hello, good people of podcast land. Thanks for joining us here at We Watched a Thing. How are you, Billy?
I'm not too bad. How you doing, Toph?
I'm alright. I'm a little hungry.
We are recording at dinner time.
Always dangerous.
When did you last eat, mate?
Lunchtime.
That's a long time ago now.
So long ago.
See, I just got out of the movies, and because it's like half price there, I saw this in the fancy cinema, so I got myself some chicken tenders.
Oh, yeah?
That's the first thing I've eaten all day, because I worked through lunch and stuff, so it was...
Grief.
Yeah, it was a bit touch and go.
Oh. Yeah. So if we come off as really grumpy today, it's the fault of hunger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's ugly.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
No. So you've just walked out of the movie. You've just walked out of this movie that we're talking of.
Just walked out of this movie, the movie being Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's right. And so you've got, it might shock people to hear that we make notes before we record. But you have none.
Might not seem like it, but we usually do. But yeah, tonight I am flying blind, my friend. I've just had a little nip of alcoholic creaming soda, so I got a little bit of the Dutch courage, and I'm just going to fly blind, my friend.
Stuff's getting loose. All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Tell me about it, Billy.
Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp is... See, usually when I make my notes, I actually even format this stuff nicely, but I'm just reading this straight from Wikipedia, so it's going to take me a little while to get my head around this. Hang on. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, this is going to be... Hang on, wait.
This is just audio gold.
Let me format this. Ant-Man and the Wasp, directed by Peyton Reed and written by the writing teams of Chris McKenna and Erik Sommers, and Paul Rudd, Andrew Barra, and Gabriel Ferrari. Stars Rudd and Evangeline Lilly, alongside Michael Peña, Walton Goggins, Bobby Cannavale, Judy Greer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Laurence Fishburne, and Michael Douglas. Tell us what it's about.
Not much. If I'm honest.
I mean, should we get this out of the way? How did you like the movie?
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a huge drop from the last couple of Marvel films. I feel like Phase 2 was weak. Phase 3 has kind of gone up in steps a lot, but this is kind of back down to that very mediocre level.
It does feature, and I knew this going in, a genuine act of heroism, this film. They've rescued Laurence Fishburne from the DCEU. That was good of them.
Good on them.
If you haven't seen Ant-Man, the first film, which my girlfriend hadn't when we went and saw it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because in the first 90 seconds of the film is just, what's his name, Hank? He just does Ant-Man. It's like, oh good, and we're caught up.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
It's like they might as well have said, previously in the MCU.
Yeah, we do, and we get our young Michael Douglas in the first 90 seconds, which I bet Catherine Zeta-Jones is just wishing they could do permanently.
Yeah, well, he looks exactly like Kirk Douglas. Why isn't there another? Isn't there another one now? Is there a Michael Douglas younger virgin? I'm hungry.
Blame the hunger.
Is there a younger Michael Douglas that we can just plug into this film and just skip the whole CGI face?
I'm sure there would be. Surely there'd be someone who looks close enough.
I think the Douglases have missed a trick there.
I mean, what did they do like 10 years ago? Before they could CGI a face, they just cast someone who looks similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that.
And I couldn't remember, because I saw Ant-Man once.
Yeah, no, same. I'd forgotten the entire film, as it turns out.
And so I couldn't remember for the life of me whether Michelle Pfeiffer was in Ant-Man or not. I was like, did I forget that Michelle Pfeiffer was Evangeline Lilly's mum? Or
yeah. Have you done your research to find out if she was in it?
She was not in it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think she was.
So it wasn't just me being forgetful, which is normally the case. We got introduced to her in that opening
in that
storytelling,
first 90 seconds,
wasn't it? Yeah. Previously on the MCU.
Yeah. I have a question, and I don't know if it's just because it's been so long since I've seen the first Ant-Man. You know how you were wondering about whether Michelle Pfeiffer was in that or not? Yeah. I don't remember. Did we know that Scott had a daughter?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah, that's the whole in the first one is very much leaning on that tried and tested / plain tired. I'm just a crook trying to make things right, go straight and get my kid back. Yeah. So, that was very much a thing in the first one.
Okay, so why is he Ant-Man?
I don't remember.
Because this whole movie I'm sitting here going, you have nothing. Why have you been chosen to wear this suit?
So he and Michael Peña broke into Hank's house in the first one.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that much. Some other stuff happened. There was a suit.
Because he
went small, he went big.
he is just a nothing guy. He's not very interesting. He's not a scientist like the rest of them. He offers them no scientific skills. He's literally just a dude.
Yeah, if you're presented...
And not even like a rich dude like Batman.
If you're presented with Ant-Man and the Wasp, you're like, Ant-Man, you are so heavily on the coattails of the Wasp.
Yeah. I feel
not
like
funny.
I feel like it should be Wasp and Ant-Man because she the bomb and he's just nothing.
Yeah, Wasp and her criminal ex-boyfriend, who for some reason, we can't remember why, has this suit that Hank used to use.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, I was just sitting there going...
I don't even remember why Hank isn't using it anymore.
No, because he's old.
Just remind him
he's like
of
111.
Possibly.
Catherine Zeta-Jones was like, no, mate, you'll hurt your hips.
And he was like, but it's Hollywood. I'm allowed to do this stuff until I'm 90. And in fact, I'll have to divorce you and marry someone 20 years younger than you.
That's true, at some point. Yeah.
So, but speaking of his, did he have a daughter and stuff? The whole family dynamic thing, that works for me in this movie.
Yeah, I enjoy Kitty. What's her name again? Judy Greer. I enjoyed Judy Greer. And I liked, actually, her husband as well. He was probably the funniest part of the movie for me.
Yeah, he worked well, I thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we talk about Louise? I remember in the first film, him being like the big breakout that like everybody was in love with and thought was hysterical. He didn't really do it for me this time round.
No.
I felt like there was a lot of retreading with him trying to get that humour back.
Yeah, and there was that one scene where they did the retelling, when you do the story through his...
Yeah.
Which worked... Actually, that's something I remember about Ant-Man.
That's like the one part of the first one I remember. And in this, I just felt like they were just trying to cash in on being funny again.
Yeah, that's reasonable. And because that happens a fair way into the film...
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't feel a natural part of the film's narrative at that point. And it's like, oh yeah, you're doing this thing again.
Yeah, he felt like almost a different character from the first one from my vague memories of it. Until
the other sidekick, the other two security guys can just get squashed by something,
worst.
to be honest.
They were so bad.
Giant Man should just accidentally tread on them.
Yeah. Or maybe purposefully tread on them.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Giant Wasp in the next one can just y'all are irrits. So the plot of this film is thin, and we might say.
Yeah, and yet there is simultaneously a hell of a lot going on, even though there's a lot of nothing going on. There's kind of like your two different baddies. You got Walton McFivehead, and then you got Ghost Girl, and there's kind of just so much happening on the screen, and yet absolutely nothing is happening.
Like we've said before, like the MCU films are really episodic. This is not news to anybody.
Yes.
But this film in particular to me feels like this film could be an episode of a TV show.
Absolutely, it could. Yeah, and they completely, until the post-credits scene, they do away with all mention of Infinity War.
Which I'm fine with. I don't mind them bottling a film.
I'm totally fine with that, except that, and maybe this is just like, maybe I'm being petty here, but at the start, after we get those 90 seconds previously on the MCU, we do get a little title card that says present day. And I'm like, well, no, it's not.
Yeah, good call.
Why? It's clearly not present day. We're talking at least 3 months ago. I know that's probably petty of me, but don't put up that card. Yeah. Just let us figure out in our head when it happens.
You don't need notes. You're all over this.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Made 40 episodes deep now.
Not a lot more to talk about plot-wise, because not a lot more to talk about plot-wise.
Yeah.
Can I just one of the I don't know, the things in Ant-Man films, the shrinkening and the biggening. If you make Giant Man or whatever, does he have a special name when he goes big?
Yeah, it's weird to think of him as still Ant-Man when he's 60 foot tall.
Because he does it in every film, so it's no long. There's nothing special about him becoming a giant if you do it every time this character is in a film. Even in Civil War, where he pops up for not very long, he becomes Giant Man.
Yeah. That's true.
I'm like, the whole Giant Man thing, I'm just like, eh.
I also think they are by far the worst looking visuals in the Ant-Man films are when he goes big. Like, when he's switching between small and regular, it's quite effective. And when he's tiny, they do some interesting camera work there. They do a lot of tilt shift, which makes it look very macro, which is quite cool and effective. When he goes big, like when he was in the water there and he was talking to the people on the dock in San Francisco, it just looked like they were standing in front of a theater screen with a projection of him on it. It just doesn't really base itself in reality when he goes big.
So next time around, I suppose the Wasp will have to go big. Change that shit up a bit.
I'd be all right with a 60-foot Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, I know you would.
Just more Evangeline Lilly to love.
So going the other way, in the shrinkening, I do like the design of the quantum verse or whatever, the quantum... Put quantum in front of a lot of things in this. They even make a joke about it in the film.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of quantuming, and yeah, I'm reasonably into the quantum verse. I think that was a pretty good bit of design, that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. In fact, I feel like I would have preferred this movie if more of it took place in the quantum verse.
Adventures in Quantum Land.
Yeah, if we had a lot less of Walton Fivehead chasing them, and if, like, say, if at the start of the movie they all go in and they get stuck in the quantum verse, and almost the entire movie took place in there as they try to find Michelle Pfeiffer. That would have been stronger to me.
You saying that makes me already think there's a better story in there than what we got.
Yeah, because so much of what we got is just chasing. And it's all about the lab. The lab is the giant MacGuffin in this film, and you've just got Ghost Girl chasing the lab, and Walton Goggins chasing the lab, and Ant-Man and the Wasp chasing the lab, and you've got very little actual action. There's just a lot of looking for the lab.
And the action actually is quite good.
Yeah.
A lot of the fights, like the choreograph and incorporating the powers of the suits into the choreographing of fights in this film is actually really quite good.
It is. I do really like the way that they continuously switch between small and then regrowing to regular size, because that's really where the force comes from when they're fighting. That, you know, like when you're just small, it's not like you can kick someone in the face and knock them down. So I do like the way they incorporate that. And when Wasp was fighting the Ghost as well, and, you know, she was avoiding Ghost's kind of techniques, I guess. Yeah, I enjoyed the choreography of those scenes.
Yeah, I'll tick off on that for sure. So, I mean, Ant-Man, the first one, was meant to be a bit more lighthearted, a bit funnier than, say, Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of... that was just before Guardians of the Galaxy?
That sounds right.
Yeah, it was around that time anyway when they started going, okay, let's be, like, really fun. You know, like casting Paul Rudd for a start, who is, you know, famously
agreeable.
Actor. Yeah. And I love Paul. Like, who wouldn't love Paul Rudd?
If you don't love Paul Rudd,
get out.
Listening. We don't want you.
We love Mike.
What's his name in Clueless?
Oh, Jesus, now you're taking me back. That's probably a movie we need to rewatch.
I watched it I watch Clueless reasonably regularly because it's fantastic. See, and Paul Rudd is fantastic.
When I see Paul Rudd, I just think Mike Crap Bag. Because if it's hard to remember, you just think of a bag of crap.
What's Mike Crapbag?
You're not a Friends fan?
I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not as a deep dive into Friends like you.
So Phoebe, who is his partner, decides to legally change her name to Consuela Banana Hammock. So he decides to go and change his name to Crapbag just to show her how ridiculous it is to change your name. Just fun little... I've got no notes, mate. I'm really angry.
I've got some salami here.
Is that your emu salami?
There you go, mate. No, that's just regular. That's made from a pig. All right, so we like Paul Rudd. He's funny, and there's genuine laughs in this film. Yeah,
there's a few genuine laughs. I love Evangeline Lilly as well. It's hard not to enjoy her.
Hannah John-Kamen, who plays Ghost, who we saw in Ready Player One not too long ago as one of the other kind of executive types. Yep. Hanging around Ben Mendelsohn. I thought she was good.
Yeah, see, I wasn't a fan of her, but maybe that's just because I didn't really care about the whole Ghost storyline. Tell you what I didn't like is the visuals of Ghost herself doing her kind of ghostiness. Yeah. That kind of just doubling up mirror image type thing that they had going on, where like one was a little bit delayed.
Matrix Revolution style.
Yeah, I just did not care for the look of that. How did you feel about it?
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, as soon as I saw the trailers for this film, I was thinking about that albino fella from the Matrix sequels.
Yeah.
And that's, we're going back 15 years there, are we? And it's not like this
well, the first Matrix was 99, so nearly 20 years ago. Yeah.
I can't remember when Reloaded came out, but 15 years ago-ish.
Yeah.
And it's not like this, we haven't stepped forward hugely, have we?
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. I was just, it served its purpose, and I was, like, okay with it.
Yeah.
There's a fair bit about this film, in fact, where there's a bunch where I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm kind of neutral on that.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I didn't hate it. Yeah, like it's funny. So, like I said, I saw this in like the fancy cinema. Exactly an hour in, I started to hear snoring, and I looked down, and this guy at the front had literally fallen asleep and was snoring. And I was like, you know what? I actually can't blame you right now.
Well, they are comfy chairs in there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Well, speaking of not loving certain actors in this, I don't know about you, I felt like Michael Douglas phoned in this performance from The Next Time Zone.
I mean, when was the last time he didn't phone in a performance?
Spartacus. No, right. Wrong Douglas. They look the same. I don't know. I'm not a massive Michael Douglas fan.
Me neither. I think back to 90s Douglas. The Game is a great movie.
Yeah, the game would certainly be my favourite.
Yeah,
Michael Douglas.
and Falling Down, which came out around the same time, is another fantastic film. And that, to me, is kind of peak Douglas. And from there, I just don't really
You know, I've never seen Wall Street.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Michael Douglas. I'm just like, eh.
Wait, and Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares,
And the
mate?
new one at Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Lurking in the shadows. All right, so back to the movie.
So I guess we've probably given away our scores. I'm going with a 6 for this. How are you feeling about it? 4. Yep, so we're either side of average.
Yeah.
I was very close to giving it a 5, but there were enough things I enjoyed about it that it just ticked over above average for me.
Yeah, so a 4 for me is like, I don't think it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
For a bit of entertainment, it does its job, but I couldn't say I think it's good.
Yeah. I mean, is it a recommend from you?
If you are a fan of MCU films,
Yep.
see it.
That's how I'm about it too. I would not say to someone, yeah, you have to go see this. If you like the MCU, if you've seen a bunch of them, go for it.
And if you're just like, I don't mind the MCU, but I don't need to desperately see all of them, you don't need to see this film.
I'd skip this one entirely. It's not like this is going to really have much to do with the overarching story.
No, unless Avengers 4, it's just all on Ant-Man. How do we beat Thanos? I don't know, someone get into his quantum spine and break it.
Get inside the old glove. That could actually work.
Hello.
Yeah.
There you go. Spoilers, Billy.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. See, and then of course, because the post-credit scene in Ant-Man takes place simultaneously with Purple Cable snapping his fingers.
Yeah. And apparently, as they're standing around in that post-credit scene, they're oblivious to the fact that Thanos has been to Earth and has been wrecking shop.
Yeah, apparently they've got no idea.
They're just like, okay, okay, that's a thing, but we're just going to conduct a science experiment.
Yeah, that to me didn't make a bunch of sense.
Really, guys?
What was the explanation in Infinity War for Ant-Man not being there again? Was it because he was on house arrest?
I don't know.
I don't recall. All I know is it was a very, very thin explanation.
Yeah, they just, because it was him and Hawkeye that were just explained away at the same time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkeye was, spending family time?
I think so.
Well, they probably all got snapped
The
away
worst
anyway.
thing you can do in the world.
Yeah. Also, mate, I have an update for you on something. Last week, you might remember, I don't know, you're often very drunk, so your memory's not good. We recorded a bonus episode for the Patreon on movies that have made us cry.
Yeah.
And you tried to call me a little girl for crying in Braveheart.
No, I didn't. I said I'm genuinely interested to find out whether it's a thing or not.
Well, so I put out a poll on them Twitters.
Yep. Last I heard, most people had not cried. But that was early doors. That was a small sample.
In the end, we got 77 votes. I said I would put it up for like 10 days, but I stupidly forgot to change the default, so it was only up for like 20 hours or something. 64% were on your side.
Okay, so...
Not bad. 36% said that they cried.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So close enough to 1 in 3 people cry in Braveheart.
Yeah, so I don't think it's unreasonable to cry in Braveheart.
Certainly not. I wasn't shocked. Okay, maybe I was a little shocked that you did. But I didn't think it was like, it's not like someone saying, I cried in Mad Max.
But it's just so beautiful.
He's got to cut his leg off. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised, but I'm not shocked. So 1 in 3 actually to me sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool.
I am surprised. Okay, I'm more surprised that there's 2 places where you said that. Like people crying at the end at the big emotional finale, I understand. Crying at the brutal murder of his wife.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Yeah, so on Twitter there were quite a few people who said that was the point they cried.
Right.
At his wife, not at the end.
Okay.
Most people said that this I found weird. Most people said they found the end uplifting in a weird kind of way.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they didn't cry, but they did cry when his wife gets murdered.
Well, that's how emotionally unevolved I am.
Your finger's not exactly on the pulse of the crying population.
Far from it.
So what are we getting to next week, buddy?
Next week? Am I right this time?
I don't know. Let's hear what you're about to say.
We keep changing the schedule. In my defense.
We have had a couple of schedule changes lately.
Okay, so am I right in thinking it has changed?
Well,
And so it's not what I have previously said it would be.
That's right. It's not what you said.
All right, so we're onto a Patreon.
Yes,
request.
we are. Our first request from our Patreon, which is Child's Play.
1988's Child's Play.
Better known as Chucky. Yep, that's right. And then the week after that, we will get to Skyscraper, which I'm still very excited about.
It should be amazing.
I'm very excited for that. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at wewatchedathing.com or at wewatchedathing@gmail.com. If you'd like to help support us, you can do that at patreon.com/wewatchedathing. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff at wewatchedathing. And please tell a friend about the show. Tell them to tell 3 friends and then get them to tell 3 friends and them. It's not a pyramid scheme. It just really helps us out. Catches.
Happy movie watching, everyone.
Welcome to Boozy Movies, movie reviews with a little booze.
Each week, we get inebriated and opinionated, taking shots at one film, both literally and figuratively.
Listen to Boozy Movies at boozymovies.com, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are found.
And don't forget to join the conversation in our Facebook group, Boozy Movies Drinking Buddies.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Boozy Movies Pod.
Should I take my gum out?
I think you probably should.
Should I stick it behind my ear?
Well, it depends on whether you just want to do away with it or just. But you can't open the bin without pressing the foot button. Yeah, you need the foot
like
button.
A safety lock?
No, it's so you don't have to touch the bin like an animal.
Oh, yeah, but instead I've got to stand up, walk over to it.
Like an animal.
Jeez. Get your shit together, bin.